Normally, in reference to Disney Star Wars, I will give my own opinion and my own take on this, but I thought I'd actually react to somebody else's take on this. People who know better than I would, because they spend more of their time studying it. Me, myself, I wish I had more time to do so, but that's why I'm reacting to this video, so I can give you my thoughts on the video reaction. But we're going to take a look at this. This is Kathleen Kennedy fired, with a question mark. Dave Filoni's feminist plan to save Disney Star Wars is pathetic. So, this is from Geeks and Gamers. I love Ryan Kennel. I love Drunk 3PO, both of them unconditionally. Met them both in the past. We're going to check this video out.
A developing story that's been developing for years, it seems.
I know you're excited.
Dave Filoni, who, by the way, has been the chief creative officer of Lucasfilm for 4 fucking years, and every single show that's come out has been under his direction and under his purview and with his insight, with his oversight, all those things.
Exactly. Nothing's going to change.
Thank God, Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, the savior of Star Wars. The savior of Star Wars, Dave Filoni, has done more damage to Star Wars than basically anybody. But yes, thank God he gets to reportedly co-run Lucasfilm with another woman who's, quite frankly, more masculine than him, which isn't that difficult. I guess one of the things that I'm surprised about is that it was not Carrie Beck. I really thought it was going to be Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck. Carrie Beck is still there, and she's been there a very long time. But, yeah, Lin-Wen Brennan gets the nod, who's already been doing basically all the fucking business stuff anyway. You know what the reality is? This is going to have essentially no impact on Disney Star Wars.
Nah.
Dave Filoni is going to continue to be the creative, in charge of the creative decisions, like he has been for the past 4+ years, right? They just are removing Kathleen Kennedy as president, so.
I didn't say anything. I let him talk.
It's really funny because I remember when I found this little growing community of Star Wars YouTubers back in 2018 in the aftermath of The Last Jedi. Jay, from top to bottom, every one of these fucking people were saying Dave Filoni would be a better choice. Dave Filoni would be a better choice. And the more and more things we've seen from him, especially live action, that we've continued to see, the more and more people wake up and realize, I was really wrong about this. And some people just pretend.
I was one of those people. I used to like Dave Filoni. Now I can't fucking stand him. But continue on, Mr. Kennel.
That they never said that. Some people pretend to backpedal and twist I never suggested that. Bro, it's so fucking funny. And now here we are. Disney Star Wars will remain dead with Dave Filoni because this is nothing, nothing is changing. You want to, there is no bigger forces female advocate than Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is the biggest pusher of the feminist messaging in any Star Wars product. He always has been. That's who this dude is. When they had the story group fucking roundtable for Disney Star Wars in the aftermath of Force Awakens when they were making plans for The Last Jedi, who was it in the room that said, I think the idea of femininity, subverting masculinity is a really powerful idea. Wasn't Kathleen Kennedy. It was Dave the Fig Filoni. That's who it was. That's what this dude's always been about. And of course, over the course of the past several years, you've had every fucking dumb conspiracy theory retard trying to say that, no, actually every single bad thing that Dave Filoni is involved in, it was just sabotaged by Kathleen Kennedy. That must be the case. Even when Dave Filoni has his entire jerk-off wet dream of Ahsoka, right? No fucking, he did everything he wanted. If you followed any of Dave Filoni's work, you can look at that and say, this is pure Dave Filoni fantasy.
He's not wrong. I got the most hate from watching Ahsoka. More hate than I got from watching Rings of Power. More hate than I got from watching anything and doing reviews for it on my channel. Ahsoka was the thing that got the most hate from Disney Star Wars fans, Dave Filoni fans, and everybody in between. I got the most hate from that shit, which boggles my mind to this day. But that's fucking Dave Filoni for you. He creates dog shit for idiots, and then when people like me don't like it, then it's all of a sudden we're the fucking public enemy number one.
And yet, when it's not received very well and nobody fucking watches it and all this shit, people are it must have been interference from Kathleen Kennedy, despite the fact that she's promoted him time after time, that he has been the creative fucking executive
Yes.
at Lucasfilm.
Yes.
The head creative executive at Lucasfilm for
Preach,
over
brother.
4 years now.
Preach.
Bro, people are so fucking stupid, and I'm so glad to continue to be proven right time after time after time, especially when it comes to stupid bitch-ass Dave Filoni.
Yes.
The only positive is maybe he'll be a little more busy so his dog won't have to suffer quite as much, Jay. That's the only positive that comes out of this, if you're an animal advocate.
You want to take your communication to the next level, whether you're running a business or just starting out, Grammarly has you covered. Grammarly isn't just
for this.
Kathleen Kennedy steps down this month. Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brent.
I'll believe this headline when I see it. The people are reporting this. Kathleen Kennedy steps down. I'll believe it when I see it.
Take the reins at Lucasfilm. Now, a couple other people like Insider or whoever, they also said that Dave Filoni would be co-president, but they thought it was going to be Carrie Beck, blah, 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 stuff like this. But these were the headlines that people woke up to this morning, or maybe you saw it, late last night, whenever it was. Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brennan takes two people to replace Kathleen Kennedy, Jay. That's how incredible she is. Will reportedly replace Kathleen Kennedy as new co-presidents of Lucasfilm.
Funny how when a woman steps down at Lucasfilm, being Kathleen Kennedy, a woman, they needed two women, Lin-Win Brennan and Dave Filoni, to replace another woman. So it's just women all around. The force is female, everybody. Great work.
As if we didn't think that Dave Filoni was enough feminine energy.
Right?
Can you highlight Lynn's picture? I'll show it.
I will. Okay. Dave Filoni will oversee all creative development, which is what he already does.
Yes.
Lin-Win Brennan will oversee executive duties. Announcements expected to be made in a couple weeks. This is what you wanted to see, Jay?
It's probably an older picture, but how fitting is it that she's wearing the Star Cruiser Halcyon necklace that they were selling for like $750 around her neck? One of the billion-dollar failures of Star Wars. She decides to parade around with that around her neck. It's just perfect irony right there, that, she does look like KK. I mean, it's one of those things.
It's just like all of the movies. It's another brunette woman. Daisy Ridley, Jen Erso. Name a fucking female character in Disney Star Wars in the last 10 years that was brunette, that was a girl boss. All Kathleen Kennedy inserts. And literally her replacement is another fucking Kathleen Kennedy insert. She looks just like Kathleen Kennedy. Fucking insane. And Dave Filoni also has a vagina.
I think it's great. Maybe they just weren't selling enough of those necklaces and they had an extra and they're like, here you go, you can have one.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, anyone who thinks there's going to be any change in Disney Star Wars because of this, let's just look. Right now, Kathleen Kennedy is president. Lin-Win Brennan and Dave Filoni are going to become co-presidents. Lin-Win Brennan right now is the president and general manager of all the business side of things. So she handles the business side of things as it is. You know who handles all the creative stuff as it is? Dave fucking Filoni. Mm-hmm. Chief Creative Officer, Dave Filoni, who's involved in all these pitches, all these things, helped on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, helped on the Acolyte. Right, basically the only thing that he wasn't involved in at all is Andor, ironically. Yes. He's going to continue doing what he's been doing. She's going to continue doing what she's been doing. And Kathleen Kennedy is just going to
go receive awards somewhere and
continue to produce movies, right? Because Kathleen Kennedy is still probably going to be producing some of these movies. Nothing has fucking changed.
Look at that staff, man. You got four girls and a feminine man. All running Star Wars. You wonder why it sucks so bad. Look at this picture right here. Oh my gosh. Is there even a blonde-haired person that they hired? They're discriminating against blondes?
Yeah. They got other people. We can go down, right?
Still no blonde hair. Wait, who's that? Who's Doug Chang? What does he do?
Doug Chang's been there a long time, actually.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do?
He does, like, when it comes to, like, designing things and stuff like that. Okay. What's his actual title? Senior Vice President and Executive Design Director.
Oh, okay.
But he's been there a while. Here's a blonde person.
There
Vicky
we go.
Dobbs Beck.
Vicky, another Beck. Any relation?
I don't know, actually, to Carrie Beck. There's Blair. She got blonde hair.
Okay. I take it back. How many of those men are gay? Just
I think we should put Megan
All of them. To answer Jay's comment, all of them.
Crumpacker up there just because of her name.
Just because of the name. All right, everybody, welcome Crumpacker.
President Crumpacker. I like that. But yeah, Doug Chang has actually been around at Lucasfilm for a long time. A long time. A handful of these people are still there from before, right?
And that guy looks like Jeremy. Go scroll down a little bit. That guy looks like Jeremy right there. The Francis. What's his name?
Francis Cardavon.
He kind of does.
Oh, man, look at that lady, Anna
see it.
Yeager.
That's quite a haircut there.
Raymond Wu.
You know what I'm noticing? Not a whole lot of blacks, right? Not a whole lot of black people.
Not a lot of black people.
But anyway, look, this is...
There's a Harbor Freight store in your neighborhood where we sell hardworking tools that always work with it.
This is legitimately no change.
No.
And this is what I've been preaching going on 7 years at this point. When I originally started my channel and started talking shit about Dave Filoni, I had people saying, how dare you? He would be so much better. He needs to get more power. George Lucas's disciple, Dave Filoni. And the longer that has gone on, the more things that people have seen. And I'm not talking about cartoons for children. I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about the live action things that people actually tune in and watch, right? Yeah. The more things people have seen from Dave Filoni, the more people have woken up and realized, oh, wait, this is the people that everyone was praising. Because I'm going to be honest, in this era after Last Jedi, and everybody wanted Kathleen Kennedy fired, understandably so, some people that loved Clone Wars and stuff like that were like, Dave Filoni, he'd be great. And honestly, a lot of people who had never seen Clone Wars, who had never seen Rebels, who weren't actually familiar with Dave Filoni, they just heard that name being said in a positive way by a handful of people, hardcore Clone Wars fans and stuff like that. And they echoed it because they wanted somebody that was better than Kathleen Kennedy.
Which anybody would be better than Kathleen Kennedy, but essentially I understand where those people would be coming from. But being somebody who has watched the Clone Wars to completion and actually watched parts of Rebels, I can confidently say that I used to think that Dave Filoni was a good successor to George Lucas. But George Lucas deserves more of the credit for the Clone Wars, at least both the good and the bad, but mostly the good. Dave Filoni only gets the credit for Ahsoka as far as I'm concerned. He had very little to do with the creation and the actual production. He was only a supervising director, but he did not write every single episode of the Clone Wars. So that's a flawed logic. People were just coping because they wanted to see somebody better than Kathleen Kennedy running Star Wars. And so I've completely flipped on Dave Filoni. I fucking hate that guy. And there are parts of the Clone Wars that I don't like. Some stuff I do like. But what I can tell you confidently is that the Clone Wars is not as consistent as the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. As the EU, as people call it Legends now. It's the EU. That is more consistent with George Lucas's vision than Dave Filoni's Clone Wars ever was. Or Disney Star Wars for that matter. So I get what Ryan's saying, but I'm just throwing my thoughts in there.
Even though they had no knowledge, even though the vast majority of them hadn't actually watched that, right? That's what this wave of support for Dave Filoni was in 2018, 2019, 2020.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then with the complete and total disappointing failure of Mandalorian, with things like that have continued to come out, whether you want to talk about Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Acolyte, these things all had Dave Filoni's hands involved on them.
Yes.
But then you can make all the excuses in the world. They wouldn't let him do this. They wouldn't let him do that. Ultimately.
But what would they not let him do? Like, what are these people saying that it's like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't let him do what? What exactly was he doing that would make those shows better? I just don't understand. I don't know what he would do to make things like Book of Boba Fett a better show. It was already on his blueprint.
there is there's no way you can watch Ahsoka and pretend like that isn't Dave Filoni's fantasy.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
To make Ahsoka
Exactly.
Tano the most important character in all of Star Wars. It always has been. That
And I
has
think we'll
always
see-
been his fantasy.
I think we'll see more of that. I think that'll be now, like it'll be the Ahsoka push because they don't know how to create anything new or do anything different. And he probably had this mastermind plan from day one. Once George is out, Ahsoka's in. She'll be the savior of it all. It's going to be.
That's what happened with Order 66. If y'all don't know, the only reason Ahsoka survived Order 66 is because Dave Filoni talked George Lucas out of it. That is the only reason Ahsoka survived.
Going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, but it is funny, and I'm sure there's some people that are going to be super excited and happy about this, and think that things are finally going to change. The copium that you continue to have, it will not work. It will not be any different. It's going to remain exactly the same because Dave Filoni has been making creative decisions at Lucasfilm for years and years and years. We are where we are in large part because of Dave Filoni.
Yes.
The only thing I think it will change is, for the worse. Like we'll probably end up getting less movies, and they'll just become like a CW brand, pretty much.
Jay, they already are a CW brand, bro. That's where they're at.
Because there's really nothing that is sticking. I don't see, even from like the hype for like Mando and Grogu is not, at least it's not as there as what I thought it would be, at least from the crazy Twitter people.
I completely forgot the movie was even coming out.
But I guess we'll see. Like because that's supposed to launch like the next week. They keep announcing a Rey film is coming over and over and over again. How many
Daisy
years
Ridley
is that?
talked about the new Jedi Order movie just the other day. Yeah.
How many years is that going to take before we even get like a post that says in production or just started production? But we do have Sean Levy's, right? His is done, so he'll come out, and that is not attached to anything, so that actually might have something interesting to see in there, but who knows? I think with that leadership, like it wouldn't surprise me if they win again and just did more Disney Plus stuff and just kept it on that.
If you could look across the landscape, if you had to like pick a project to be optimistic about, it probably would be Starfighter. Something that's disconnected from any other characters. Something with a director and a producer in Sean Levy who, right, maybe you don't like some of his stuff, whatever, has made things that have hit and done well. It's got a cast like people like Ryan Gosling who are incredibly likable. Like maybe that's your shining hope of maybe that can be the thing that's good of all this shit. But I think Mandalorian and Grogu, when it comes out, is going to tell us a lot about what the future of Star Wars looks like, because it's been, it'll have been 7 years, almost 6.5 years since we saw a Star Wars movie in theaters.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be it. It's going to give us a very good indication of what the appetite for Star Wars at the movie theater is and what the brand strength of Mandalorian and Grogu is at this point.
Well,
and I don't really have any idea what to expect. So we'll see.
100%. Shout out to the Geeks and Gamers crew. Shout out to Ryan Kennel and Drunk 3PO.
Shoutout has thousands of products to help you live well your way. HEB Wellness, here everything's better.
Bro, what the fuck? All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm turning it off now.